Welcome back. It is 1681 and the last one. Gideon is starting his last semester of university. Phineas is engaged. Annabelle moved in with Cameron and Elizabeth. Meredith and Timothy got married. Temperance and Thomas have now both passed. And Pomon married Tallulah as well. For this year, we have Wynah and Thanks as the only children with birthdays, no 13 or 19. Both survived. Townies. Let's see. No Townie birthdays again. Oh no, we have one. Clement Smith becoming a toddler. No 4, 8, or 17. Survived. Okay. Looks good. Maybe we'll have less deaths this year. Okay, let's hop into the game. So we are actually going to start in the Anderson household with Cameron and Elizabeth. As you know, last time Annabelle had moved in with them because Cameron totally has a hero complex, and he kind of saw Annabelle as someone who, like Elizabeth, he needed to save. And Elizabeth feels kind of weird about this, right? So she's like, "What are you doing? Because this is strange." Like, she's not our kid. We have a kid. She's all grown up, and like, what are you doing? And so Cameron, had lectured her on, being generous and all this other stuff and helping the community. And he basically tells Elizabeth, I want you to see her as like a daughter to us. I want you to, treat her as you would a child of ours. We're going to help her. We're going to help her, find a husband. We're going to help her do all of this other stuff. And, we're going to make her life better and all of these things. And Elizabeth is just kind of like, okay, like, I guess so. And she doesn't really, she already got lectured on being nice. And so she is not going to continue to argue the point when she really doesn't get a say in it. So she's just accepting things the way they are and is like, okay, well, I guess, I'll help her out. I mean, I don't mind helping people out. It's just that you kind of unilaterally decided to move her into our house, and I was a bit worried about that. And, Cameron doesn't really see it as something she should be worried about or anything. He's like, Elizabeth, come on, I love you. Like, you don't have to be worried about anything. Like, I'm not like trying to like get a new young wife or anything. Like, that's weird. Like, he does not see Annabelle as, a romantic partner. He just sees her as like this young girl in distress that he can help, and he wants to help, and he's just like, we can just help people. Like, it's fine. It's not like anything weird is happening here. And so Elizabeth is like, well, I guess okay. What's she gonna do about it? It's kind of sad but true. She doesn't really have a lot of power in the household. So next we are going to actually head out and see um, Gideon and Phineas. And so we are seeing these two. They're going to, again, Phineas is taking care of the house. He's doing that stuff. He's doing the apothecary stuff. Like, it's really, business as usual here. We are on, I think, so next year should be the last year that Gideon is in school. He should be graduating next sim year. And I am worried about his grades just because of the presentation board going missing and the total glitching that is university right now. I actually only have MCCC in my game right now. The other mods are not currently in my game, which actually becomes kind of a problem later, but I do need to update all my mods after the most recent update. So I haven't done that yet, and all I have is MCCC after that update. So we'll just do our best here and move forward. I think that the main mods that I find that I use that end up needing, replacements are more cast columns, obviously, and then Regency Romance and the Royalty mod and MCCC are like the main ones that I end up having trouble with after any updates. But I think I just got, because I get emails for the Royalty mod, so I think I just saw that that's been updated, so I will get that in again. But anyway, not to like distract us, but yes, we have Phineas and Gideon doing the school thing. Actually, I was watching some of the. Now I know that anyway, we'll talk in a second about what I was going to say. Because first, Alice has invited Gideon out, and I think Alice is seeing that Gideon is about to finish up his schooling. She is recognizing that he's like about at that point, and she's like, okay, well, like, are you going to make a commitment here to me? Are you going to make a commitment to our future? Are we going to do this thing? You know, like all of these things where she's like, okay, like, you were about to finish school. I've been a big help to you. You're not just going to drop me, right? Like, how come my sister is engaged and planning her wedding and we are not? You know, like and Gideon, always gives her the runaround, like, I'm in school, I'm handling it. Like, once I graduate, we'll figure it out. But, there is kind of that anxiety for Alice where she's like, okay, but like, am I a part of this future that you're planning? Or are you putting me off because you don't think so? Like, she does have some doubts about that kind of stuff. And no matter what Gideon keeps telling her, like, it's going to be fine, it's going to be fine. But she keeps thinking to herself, well, if it's going to be fine, if we're going to get married and do this thing, like, why hasn't he proposed? Why aren't we engaged? That kind of stuff. And so she is struggling with that. But moving forward, um, yeah, I am excited about the new pack. That's kind of what I was thinking about talking about, because I know this video is going to be way after the pack is released, like a couple of weeks, but I'm recording early because I am going to be a bit busy soon. I've been moving house, and um, there are some other life events going on as well with that. So I do want to be at least ahead, because I do have that weird work schedule right now. So I want to be as ahead as I can be, which makes it a little hard to, incorporate you guys' ideas. Although I do, if you have ideas for their kids, that's kind of what I'm at, is like, I'm thinking about the new pack, and I'm thinking about, maybe we can make a school like for the kids. Like, maybe we can make like a little Puritan church school thing where the little boys go, because girls aren't allowed to go to school. But yeah, maybe we could do that and have some more of the relationships between the children be a thing. So I'm kind of thinking about how we can focus more in on our family in the future. But for right now, we have moved over to the Smith household. Now, Meredith and Timothy had that plan. She is kind of with Nathaniel a bit, and Chenua is definitely jealous of the situation, because with Silence Dead, like, Chenua was like supposed to be the HBIC, right? But that is kind of not really what ended up happening, because Meredith moved in and caused some problems for Chenua, because Nathaniel is gross and he likes having, the young woman kind of doting on him and stuff. And her and Timothy are just planning this out so that they can, get the house when he dies and everything. And so Chenua is starting fights with Meredith and stuff, but she has to be careful, because that's kind of what happened to Hope. Like, Hope was starting fights with Chenua, and it became drama, and then Hope got kicked out. So Chenua has to really tread lightly, because that could happen to her as well. And then you can see here that we are going to have our baby. So she is having her baby with Timothy, and it is a girl, and they both survive. So we are happy about that. I know I did an extra roll in there. Don't pay attention to that. But we are happy that she survived. Her name is Anne, and we are going to look forward to her future. So they are doing that. And then we are going to just age her up now, because why not? But yeah, so that is what's going on. Chenua is having some problems because of Meredith and Timothy. So she's struggling there. And then she actually does, you can see she's flirting with Timothy. Chenua is. She's flirting with Timothy, maybe kind of trying to get back at Meredith. And that does make Meredith a bit jealous. Like, even though Timothy and Meredith have this deal, and they weren't necessarily marrying out of love, but out of mutual, companionship, it still kind of, makes her a little jealous that Chenua is flirting with Timothy. Although I'm sure Timothy gets jealous of his father, so, you know. Next, we are going to head over to see Charity, even though we cannot see her. As per usual, there's something wrong. It must be the CC, I swear. But yes, we can't see Charity, but Charity is going to talk to Thanks, because she really is struggling after the deaths of Temperance and Thomas. She's really struggling because of what Temperance had told her, telling her, like, hey, I'm going to take responsibility for what my son has done and I'm going to handle it. And so she kind of is seeing it as like, Charity is the only one who might think that there was something nefarious at work in that fire. And so she needs someone to confide in because she doesn't have Trinity anymore as a friend. Also, I couldn't find the baby on here, and that was my fault, probably because when I got rid of the tranny tracker, I forgot to add him or so. I don't know. I messed that up, but I fixed it now. But yeah, so Charity is talking to Thanks, and she's like, look, I think that, something weird happened. Like, I'm telling you that something is going on here. And Thanks is just kind of like, it was a fire. It's fine. There's nothing going on. Like, why are you so paranoid about it? Like, what is going on that you're so worried about it? And Charity eventually feels the need to open up to him about exactly what's been going on because she has not really told him the full extent of everything that has happened. She didn't tell him about her interactions with Thomas, about what happened there, about the stuff with Trinity, about Trinity's mother paying her a visit. Like, she has not told him this stuff about what exactly went on. She was worried, and she, you know, had these feelings of, shame and embarrassment and, very strongly, guilt because of, the way that they live in their society. Puts all of the emphasis on the women, of course. But she decides, she's like, look, I have to tell him. I have to tell my husband exactly what happened because he's the only person in the world I can confide in. And they end up getting in a fight. I do not know what prompted this fight, to be honest with you. Everything was fine, and then all of a sudden they were fighting. So I'm like, well, I guess we're adding that into the story because I don't know why you guys just fought. It's not like it's neighborhood brawl time. But yes, so they fought, and now they have a really bad relationship. So what I'm thinking is that Thanks responded really poorly to, everything that she said about her and Thomas and the woohoo and the everything. And so Thanks has responded kind of poorly to that, and it caused them to kind of have a strain in their relationship. And so they're struggling with that now. But I don't know why randomly people came over to their house, but I think it's good for her to have her mom around anyway. So then we are going to move on and go see Poman. So he had married Tallulah last time, and they now are pregnant. They're going to have a baby this year, and they are she's kind of been in his ear because he obviously has told her about everything where he's like, oh, my brother, he only has girls. Like, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that I'm going to get a good position here and all this stuff. And so she's been kind of hyping him up, like, of course you are. You're so great. Like, you could totally do this. You brought our I don't know, whatever you call it. Like, you brought us together, our families. And, so of course that's true, is you really facilitated this. That's the word I'm looking for. And so he is just kind of walking around with a big ego, and he ends up saying something to Ninigret, and Ninigret is like, what are you talking about? like what is going on? And Ninigret doesn't really understand because Pullman is kind of getting irritated. He's like, everyone's just treating me the same as they've always treated me. Like, why are they just treating me the same? Why aren't they treating me more special? Why aren't they paying more attention to me? Like, he doesn't get it. Like, like, he does not understand because he's like, I've done all these cool things and people should be like idolizing me, and they're not. Like, what's the deal? And so he is struggling with that. And, of course, Tallulah's there kind of being like, yeah, what's the deal? What's the deal? Like, kind of parroting his talking points. And he ends up starting to get into a lot of fights with different family members because he doesn't understand why they are not like fawning over him. And they're confused because they're like, why would we fawn over you? You are the same person that you've always been. Like, why are we having this argument right now? Like, they don't get why he's starting fights. And Rebecca even tries to talk to him like, what is going on with you? Like, what is the deal? And he's like, what do you mean, what's the deal? I'm the only one who's had any sons. you know so he is definitely having an attitude about the way things have gone. And especially because he is the oldest, and he definitely feels some kind of entitlement about the whole thing because he's like, I'm the oldest, like, I'm supposed to be helping our family, I'm supposed to be doing all this stuff for our family, and what do you mean that, like, you don't all look up to me and respect me and idolize me? And he does not get it. And Rebecca's like, I don't get you. I don't get what your attitude problem is. So anyway, um he is definitely having a bad attitude about the whole thing. But what you gonna do? So next, Rebecca is actually going to visit Nita. So Rebecca and Nita have become a little bit closer over the years, just by virtue of being older women in the club and just kind of getting to know each other. We cannot see Nita, unfortunately, but she's there. So Rebecca and Nita have been talking, and they both have. So I know that I've gotten some questions like, when is Nini Gret going to get married? Well, Rebecca has noticed that her son has not gotten married, and she's noticed that he kind of doesn't seem interested or proactive about it. And so she is going to talk with Nita about it and be like, oh, um, my son, Nini Gret, like he really needs a wife. Like he needs to start thinking about having a wife and all this stuff. And actually, what was her name? Was it Sakima? Nita's daughter. Um, I think it's Sakima. Let me double check. But yeah, Sakima Nokomis, Nita's daughter, Nita and Yona's daughter. She is also single. And so Rebecca and Nita are kind of talking like, like maybe we should arrange something. Maybe we should do some matchmaking, like maybe we should try to push our children together a bit, all of that kind of stuff where the two of them notice their children kind of needing to move on to this next stage in their lives, and maybe the kids need a little bit of a push. So Rebecca and Nita are going to start trying to, matchmaking scheme against their children and get them to kind of get on the same page here. So that is what she is talking about right now. I was trying to see if I could find her grandchild here, but she does not apparently know her grandchild, unfortunately, and I can't use the teleporter because it's not in my game right now. Although some of those mods have just not been updated for many, many years, and I just keep using them anyway, so that's fine. But yes, so we are going to come over here and we are going to age up and start working on some birthday things. So we only have a few birthdays this year. We did have Anne Smith be born, Clement Smith becoming a toddler, Wyanette Waldrick becoming a child, and then Thanks Hobart II also becoming a child. So those are our birthdays for this year. Not very many. I know this is kind of a shorter video. Let's see what we have on the dock. I think next year, actually, yes, next year we are becoming young adults. Our boys are becoming young adults next year. So I'm very excited about that. I think that is totally going to change everything for us. So I am thrilled about it. And I hope you are too. I hope you are so excited because I'm really excited that we're finally, although, you know what, I have to knock on wood because I keep saying this. We keep getting our heir to young adulthood and then like they die and they have like one kid or like we have been in such a bad position. But hopefully moving forward in this generation things can be different. I want to go back to the days where we had so many children and we had a bustling family and all that stuff. So anyway, I hope you guys are excited. So I will catch you in the next one.